Hey everybody, Insane Mike here from Attack of the Killer Podcast. And it's time for another Patreon video. Time for me to do another one. First off, I want to apologize if I sound kind of congested or if I start having little coughing fits or whatever. I've been recently getting over a cold, but that's not going to stop me from bringing a video to you right now. So, what I'm going to talk about is my love for Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it several times on the podcast that I'm a fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've seen the movie in theaters dozens of times. I've lost count. I have somewhere, and I haven't been able to find it, I have somewhere a collection of all of my ticket stubs from every time I've seen Rocky Horror Picture Show in the theater. And then with our own event, Halloween-a-Palooza, that we do every year, we end the night with Rocky Horror Picture Show with me as the MC, providing audience participation, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get into a little bit about the movie, also talk about my history with the movie, my love for the movie, and kind of some of the things that I've collected over the years surrounding the movie. Now, I don't have like a huge Rocky Horror Picture Show collection, but just going to show off some of the stuff I do have. Now, my own history with Rocky Horror Picture Show goes like this. So when I was a junior in high school, I had a friend named James who introduced me to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And this is long before I ever got a chance to see it in a theater or anything like that, ever seeing the movie. He had this book. And when I would go over to his house, I'd just like be obsessively going through this book, the Rocky Horror Picture Show book. And it's just filled with like awesome pictures from the film, some behind the scenes stuff, about the movie, some audience participation stuff, all the song lyrics. It's an amazing book. And when my friend James moved away, he gave me this book. This is the copy that I've had for years. That used to belong to my friend James, and it's been gone through so much, and it's so old that literally all of the pages have come out of this book. It is not held together by anything at this point. So, but it's an awesome book, and this predates it ever being available on home video. So. My first time ever seeing it, we found a theater in Des Moines that would play it regularly, and so James and I and a bunch of other of our high school friends took a trip to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show Saturday at midnight, and it was awesome. But even that first time seeing the movie, I could not even tell you what happened in over half of the movie, because I remember at one point. We just got in this amazing water gun fight with the people behind us through the whole third act of the movie. So it was an insane experience, a crazy ride. It was fun. It was hilarious. The probably one of the most fun times I've ever had in a movie-going theater experience. So I was hooked, and I was obsessed from there. Now, my senior year in high school. Around 1990, 1991, CBS Fox decided to release Rocky Horror Picture Show on VHS for the first time ever in conjunction with the 15-year anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, and I remember there was like a lot of horrorcore fans that were kind of up in arms about the idea of this being put out on video, that it was going to diminish the theater going experience. But it certainly didn't for us, and every time I've ever seen it, I've seen it in like a dozen or so different theaters, and it's always been a fun time. I lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for a while, and when I was there, we'd go almost every weekend to go see it in a little theater. I can't remember the name of that theater, but it was awesome. It was a good time. But yeah, in 1990, CBS Fox Home Video decided to release it on on VHS. And there was like a whole big promotion around the 15-year anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show. There was this album collections, album set, this four album set that you can get on like LP, CD, and cassette. And I used to have it on cassette, where of the 15th anniversary Rocky Horror Picture Show music. So, and it had like the original soundtrack in it. It had like a stage production soundtrack from the original Rocky Horror Show, because it started off as a stage play before it became a movie, and it was just known as the Rocky Horror Show when it was a stage play. And so they added the word picture when it became a movie. And then there was a version that had a cassette that had the audience participation with it, so it was like recorded at, I think it was at the main theater in New York. I forget the name of the theater right now. That like where the audience participation first really became a thing, and like Sal Puro, the president of the Rocky Horror Picture Show fan club, Guinness Book of World Records, of seeing the movie more than anyone else in the theater. Like that was the theater he would see it at, and all the original Rocky Horror Picture Show fans would go see it at. So it was like the place for the audience participation. And this cassette was like very educational. I listened to it front and back to front, constantly, to learn the things to say and the things to do when seeing Rocky Horror Picture Show in a theater. The beauty of a Rocky Horror Picture Show audience participation is like there's no set rules or anything to it. You can write your own material as well. There's a lot of, I've noticed in different places I've seen it, there's like regional things, like some things are said in certain parts of the country or in other states or whatever. But I used to have one of those sets. I don't know whatever happened to it. I had the cassette set. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm gonna blame the cold. The fourth cassette was like Rocky Horror Picture Show rarities, and it had like a couple songs that were in a different language. It had like a marching band performing the Time Warp was a track on it, and it had like a couple songs from Shock Treatment, the sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show, and like a couple songs from Lil Nell's solo music career, and I think a song or two from Tim Curry's solo music career. So very awesome set. I wish I still had that set. I don't know where I am to. The only thing I have from that era, from the 15-year anniversary, is this press kit. Like this was like the cover letter that came with it from Fox Home Video, and then this ad slick. Back in the day when you would do print ads in these things called newspapers, like movie theaters or video stores would get these ad slicks with different sizes of ads that they could cut out and send off to the newspaper with whatever text or fonts that they need to go with that theater or video store. But the coolest part is this fold out here from the press kit. Kind of talks about the release of the movie, the promotions that are going to be going on with it at the time, different POP material and whatnot. So very cool. Surprised to actually still have this after all these years. A couple other things that I have. I said I've seen the movie. I wish I could remember how many times in a theater, not counting Halloween-a-Palooza. But I have a couple of mementos from this one's from Billy Joe's Picture Show, movie theater in Des Moines that we would constantly see it at. This was a button they were handing out for the 25th anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I got a button from that. I got a one sheet here, little mini poster for some theater called Cinema Theater and Home Video that were doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show November 9th, Friday November 9th and Saturday November 10th. So it's got the address, but not the city. So I don't remember where this was. I don't remember the Cinema Theater and Home Video, but I still got that flyer for some unknown reason. So I was talking about my friend James. He was the one that really introduced me to Rocky Horror Picture Show. He showed me the book. He told me all about the movie. Told me about the experience of going to see it in the theater. And he was with me the first time I got to go see it in the theater. So when he moved away, he gave me the book. He gave me his book, which I still have to this day, obviously. And then he also gave me. There was a time in his original hometown when he saw a Rocky Horror Picture Show where the film broke. And I can't remember if he said they couldn't get it back up and running or whatever. So, as a treat to all the audience members, as an apology to all the audience members, because I guess one of the reels got mashed up pretty bad, they gave each member of the audience a single frame from 35 millimeter print of from the Rocky Horror Picture Show after the film broke. And James gave me his one cell from that as well. And I put it in this little frame with a set of Rocky lips, but there it is right there. I don't know if you can see it too well. I'm getting a little bit of a reflection here, but it's during Hopatootie, the Hopatootie song with Meatloaf facing down Rocky. So that's cool. Actual single frame from a 35 millimeter print. A few other things that I have. I think it was also maybe around the 15-year anniversary. Caliber Comics came out with a 3-issue set, a comic book set of Rocky Horror Picture Show, of the movie. This is issue 1 with Sweet Transvestite on the cover. Issue number 2 with Sword of Damocles, and issue number 3. I'm blanking on the song right now. But pretty cool comic. I haven't looked at these in years. I'm going to pop one open here. I don't remember what the art was like. And the issues themselves are pretty thick. And, if you take out the songs, I think it would be a pretty short comic. The art's pretty cool. A lot of use of shadow. Cool use of shadow, and it's not too bad. But seriously, why is this so thick? Well, I guess they do have the songs in it. Like, they're performing the songs in the comic as well. And okay. Well, here's the thing. In the back of this issue, anyway, this is issue 3. They have Rocky File. So this one here has a profile on Sal Piro, who is the head of the Rocky Horror Picture Show fan club. An article about the movie. So a set of audience participation. Like I said, I haven't read this in years. I read these comics in years, so I forgot it was all in here. A bunch of merchandise you could get, and then song lyrics to some of the songs. So cool. So yeah, Caliber Press. I don't think they're around anymore, but I remember I was really into Caliber Press at the time because a comic artist from Iowa, I think he still lives in Iowa, who I met at several comic book shows, was one of the first big artists to start working for Caliber Press. I think it was maybe like one of the I don't want to say one of the main guys of the company or whatever, but anyway, so at the time I was buying everything that Caliber put out, and when I saw they were doing Rocky Horror Picture Show, I was like, sweet, it's cool. Of course, I've got the soundtrack. I've got the regular soundtrack on CD. This is the CD that's got the extra version, the 1989 extended version of remix of the Time Warp, which when senior in high school, we were such big Rocky Horror Picture Show fans. Me and my buddies for an assembly at the school, which we called March Madness. It was a big lip syncing competition. Different people could compete, and my group, the Gore Gang, we performed the Time Warp, but we were idiots. We performed the 1989 extended cut, which has like a ton of clips in the movie right in the middle of the song. So the song just is interrupted by clips from the movie. One, we did nothing but stand there waiting for those clips to get done, and then we interjected, like when they would say lines in the movie on the song, we would do the audience participation to them. Lame. And then the other part that made it suck was that all those moments are in stereo, and whatever the school sound equipment was in mono, so you can only hear one speaker. So like half of the audience participation you could hear, the other half you couldn't. So that really sucked. I also have, of course, the soundtrack on vinyl. And then there's the movie itself. I don't have as many versions of the movie as you would think I would. But I have it. I have the 25th anniversary DVD set, and I also have the 35th anniversary Blu-ray set. Both has Arnie's participation tracks, and if I were to weigh the two, I think I probably prefer the DVD Arnie's participation track. I don't know why, but I just know I've listened to the DVD version of the Arnie's participation track more than the Blu-ray version. So to say I think it's a better version. Part of the problem with these different versions of audio recordings of the audience participation is just like there's moments where everybody has their own lines and they're talking over each other, so you can't understand a single line. So and listening to these tracks as many times as I have over the years, I do a little before Halloween-a-Palooza, I do a little bit of studying, a little bit of cramming of these tracks before Halloween-a-Palooza, just to kind of refresh my brain. Sometimes I'll even pick up on new ones that I haven't heard before. And there's moments where I can't even sit through it because I just get a headache anymore because it's just so many people talking over each other. It's tough. But the Blu-ray has a pretty cool book with a lot of pictures in it. What were some of the other features on this Blu-ray? I don't remember what's all on the Blu-ray. And there's no listings here. The DVD, though, definitely had a ton of cool stuff. But those are the only copies I have of the movie. I mentioned a minute ago that about the sequel. And I'm also a big fan of the sequel, and I have the 25th anniversary DVD release of that. I don't have this one on Blu-ray yet, but Shock Treatment. And I go back and forth. There's a lot of times where I think I prefer the songs from Shock Treatment over Rocky Horror Picture Show. That could be just the fact of, I've heard Rocky so many times, but there are some great songs in this movie. And it's everybody, you can sit here and say, Rocky Horror Picture Show is a weird movie, but, Shock Treatment is a weird movie. But I love it just the same. Back in high school, when we first found out about Shock Treatment, I had this on VHS. Oh, I don't think I have that VHS anymore. That's a damn shame. But first found the VHS copy randomly at some video store, and we watched it over and over and over again, and we started writing our own audience participation to that. And it was horrible. Don't ask me to ever do our audience participation to Shock Treatment. A couple more things, and then I'll sign off here. But probably a couple of these, probably the two biggest pride and joys of my Rocky Horror Picture Show collection is I've got the Frankenfurter figure. It's the box is pretty beat up, and the plastic has gotten some has been gotten some sunlight to it, and just kind of bleached it out or whatever. And he's supposed to sing too, and I don't know if his mechanism even works anymore. Maybe just dead batteries, but yeah, he's supposed to push his belly in, and he's supposed to sing. Also in the box, there's a map of the time warp, which is cool. The box also folds out like this if you want. It's got that on the flip side. So not in the best condition. This was came from Spencer's. That's right, Spencer's. Not in the best condition, but doesn't matter. I love it all the same. It's just awesome. And then lastly, I'm trying to remember where I found this too. A copy of the script for Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is pretty cool. Really neat. Got a copy of the script too. So those are probably the two big pride and joys of my Rocky Horror Picture Show collection. But that's it. That's all I gotta say. Love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've had a long-lasting relationship with it. Lots of ups and downs. Lots of crazy experiences in seeing it in the theater. And we'll continue to do so as time goes on. So thanks again for being a Patreon supporter. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you on the next episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast.